for second place. And you'll want to see the world debut of climbing phenom Katie Brown. She is something special.
Both exemplify endurance, just in different senses of the word.
A lot coming up. Stick around. But first up, the aggressive inliners. Welcome to the asphalt jungle, the ramps, rails, and quarter pipes of the street course. The field, young and hungry. The average age of the skaters, just 17, youngest of any event in the game. It will not include surprise defending champ Matt Salerno. The Aussie sprained his ankle minutes after dropping into the half pipe for practice. But New Yorker Ryan Jacklone and transplanted Californian Arlo Eisenberg are ready to rumble with the rest of the world's best as we get it to Jack Edwards and Mark Shays.
Of all the ports of call that aggressive inline skating visits all over the world, this may be the most important. Jam-packed stands on all sides, getting ready for the men's street final. Matt Mance was at the X Games in 1995 as a 14-year-old. Now he's back, and this guy skates with tremendous flow.
And a nice combination right off the bat.
Known for his one-footed grinds, his fluidity on the course. If Matt Mance can get his aerial tricks into the category of some of the better airmen of this competition, he can win this thing.
Wow, Matty is really linking a lot of different tricks. He hasn't repeated one yet. He's shown a mastery of grinds on different elevations and different rails.
Setting up something on the pyramid.
And there's a fakey 720. That's two full body rotations. Totally in control on the landing. He had trouble landing that in the prelims. He's stuck it here.
Scrambling up the start box. He's got 15 seconds left. 1 minute into his run so far. He wants the jump box for something big. It looked from his body English as if that wasn't what Matt Mance was hoping for, but that provided the aerial element in an otherwise fine routine of grinds.
There's the backslide. Very difficult because he's coming up and he's doing a one-footed grind. And there on the rail, total control at all times. Matty's like a top when he spins in the air. Here with a 720. You notice he just spins, he just uncorks and lets it go.
Matt Mance with by far the best score of the day so far. On the street, we've got 10 finalists. They take 75-second runs, and chance taking is encouraged by the scoring system because you count only the better of the two scores in the final standings. The more you know about it, the more it means to you.
Inline Street. Explain. They're out to conquer a course filled with ramps, rails, launches. Routines are judged in 4 categories. Line, that's choreography. How well a skater links tricks together. Difficulty means maxing out the course and themselves by adding variations to tricks and aggressively working the rails. Consistency, clean execution of tricks and landings. And style, that's simply making it all look good. Falls will hurt consistency points, but a well-rounded routine will still spell success.
He's been through a lot. But Ryan Jacklone will take himself through the street course in the next 75 seconds with hopes of putting up a score that none can match. And when he's on, no one can match him.
Ryan with a nice transfer, but he went down on it.
Tough break. How hard is it for a skater to get that out of his head in the first 15 seconds of his routine?
I think it's more difficult for some of the guys who haven't competed as much. Ryan has a lot of competition experience under his belt.
1 foot with a grab. We have found throughout this week that the judges tend to forget, or at least forgive, early mistakes. So if Jacklone can light it up here in the last 31 seconds of his routine, he has a chance to score very high. Oh, something got messed up on the takeoff over the pyramid.
And Ryan was going for the fakey 720.
The ramps have held up extremely well. They've had a lot of competition this week. Yet really, they remain generally smooth.
Jack, very frustrating run for Ryan.
Trying to fire up the crowd. He's going to go for one last big trick. Let her rip. Ryan Jacklone will get a second round. He's capable of better, but what he just put up wasn't too bad. Still to come, the top qualifier, Arlo Eisenberg. He owned the street in the prelims.
Still to come at the X Games, remarkable motion, inverts, 360s, and other swift tricks. Magical feats unfold at the Skateboard Vert Preliminaries. Then, at the women's difficulty competition, it's pure-powered 15-year-old Katie Brown, conquering every crevasse. And our courageous X-Adventure teams steel themselves through one bear of a swamp. Stay with us. Taco Bell. There's nothing ordinary about it. Taco Bell. By Nike. And by 1-800-CALL-ATT. Dial it to always get a lower price than 1-800-COLLECT for all interstate calls.
We are just to the right of center. As we zoom in, you can see the street course at the Newport Yachting Center in Newport, Rhode Island. The best street skaters in the world. Dion Anthony, another of the wonders from down under, 16-year-old Australian, won the best trick competition. Starts out his first of two street runs in the finals with some air and linking some nice jumping moves.
And here he's going for the transfer.
Very smooth. Now the best trick competition as he goes toward the spine. Coming down faking. Oh, he's linking it all together here, Mark.
Now Dion's going to head over to the rail.
Down the kick.
Nice. Very nice. That's called a Royale. He got on the side of his boots. There's the 540.
He's clean so far. He's got 30 seconds left.
He raised his hand there to let the judges know on that 540 that that was unnatural. He rotated the opposite direction that he normally spins.
Now the best trick competition was just one score counting out of 5 rounds, which really rewards chance taking. Same deal here. He got half of the rail. Dion Anthony should have a comfortable lead as we work our way through the first round.
Here with a very creative line on the transfer off of the wall ride. Just getting a nice little bit of air. And over the spine, he does a beautiful Royale. You notice he's on the sides of his boots. That makes it more difficult. Here, the same trick. And it's much, much more difficult when you take it from one elevation to another. And that's a backslide, a one-footed grind. He almost lost it, but he was able to maintain control.
Dion Anthony is not in the lead. He trails Matt Mance by 0.4 of a point. Interesting. Perhaps the foremost artist in aggressive inline skating today is Arlo Eisenberg. Not just an athlete, but also a businessman. Yet what Eisenberg seeks from this sport is a feel, not a fortune.
This is the difference between a sport and a lifestyle. Because we don't get into this to compete. You don't get into it to be judged or to be measured against your friends, at least not in a competition format. Yeah, it is in our nature to be competitive. When you're in a jam session, you watch someone go, you get fired up on it, and you want to go and perform just as well, if not better. That's human nature. The only thing I question or that concerns me is on whose terms are we doing that?
Arlo is the editor of the Inline magazine Daily Bread. Daily Bread's stated purpose is to stay true to the sport and keep it real.
Daily Bread, since we're doing it, I felt like it was the only place that really accurately represented rollerblading. We're covering a different sport, and so what's going to happen is we're going to basically have two different sports, or one sport with two different cams. You'll have the competitions, and maybe the rest of it will be pushed back underground, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. I don't like it being reduced to a science, because what we do is very unscientific. It's artistic, it's expressionistic, it's about individuals. What can I say?
Oh, he's a clinical psychologist, dream boy, an X-Game competitor of the highest order.
I try not to think of myself in the third person. I try not to think of Arlo.
Mr. Arlo! Eisenberg, a skater not known for his triple lutses, but for his go guy.
I always have to keep shedding my image in lieu of a new one. I don't want to be boxed into any one thing. If I start to become my hair, then I have to get rid of it. We're challenging conventions right now. We're challenging this whole conventional authoritarian structure. And it starts with a bunch of kids just raising hell. We didn't learn from Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman learned from us. He's mimicking our generation. If you're a good rebounder, that's one thing. But if you're a good rebounder who cross-dresses and has tattoos and blonde hair, you're bigger than Michael Jordan. I'd like my legacy not to have been just rollerblading. I mean, I'm proud of this and I love it. But it's not all for me. I'm only 22 now. I got bigger plans. So watch out.
Arlo Eisenberg. Watch. Learn about his sport. You will see it.
And a nice 360 to get started. Most of the guys were just doing straight airs. Oh.
You know, it's funny, as great as Arlo is from the waist down in this sport, the way he uses his feet and his legs, I love watching his arms because he always looks so relaxed out there, no matter what contortion he's going through.
Amazing, amazing run so far. That was a 270 to soul grind on the rail box.
Rotating up the sub here or the railing. How about both?
Nice.
The railing lands on the wedge. Arlo is well known for his green painted fingernails, his different hair colors.
He is just on.
But what he does best is skate. Final 10 seconds. He's going back up the start box. One last shot. Does he go rail or jump box here?
He's going jump box. One big one. And a 540 to finish it off.
Arlo Eisenberg did the professional thing. 2 good, consistent runs in the prelims. Now he goes for greatness in the final.
That was not your standard 540 over the spine. What he was doing was a nose pick and then a 360. And here the 270 rotates around 270 degrees. Very nice soul grind. And the transfer. The judges love those unpredictable lines.
He was 8 feet above the asphalt when he cleared that railing. That's a pretty big penalty if you biff. But Arlo Eisenberg did. He's your leader after the first round. Dion Anthony stands third, and clearly he can do better in his second run. Remember, only the better of the 2 scores count in the final standing, so everybody's got a shot to win this thing.
Now you might notice that a lot of the guys do the same trick. What separates them is style, linking one trick into the next one and the next one and the next one. The best at that is Matt Salerno, who you mentioned going in, isn't here because he was injured.
A lot of finesse involved, but these also become endurance contests. Last year we saw a lot of the top qualifiers really run out of steam in the finals. Arlo, his legs maybe not the freshest. You may have heard him say that, trying to hold up. We'll show you more runs coming up later on.
Later tonight, 15-year-old Katie Brown has women's climbing in her grasp. She's calm, cool, deliberate. Basically, she's just amazing, and you'll see her later on. But next, the voyage to the dark side of your mind. 53-year-old